In the endless sky of the archipelago, the weather was not born, it was woven. On great looms that creaked in the wind, the sky spinners spun their craft, turning threads of pure sunlight, fine-spun mist, and shimmering wind into the clouds that drifted between the floating islands. Nimbus, known as Nim, was the most brilliant apprentice the guild had seen in generations. Her fingers flew across her loom, weaving cumulus puffs so perfect they looked like spun sugar, and cirrus wisps so delicate they were barely there at all. But where her talent was great, her patience was small. She craved spectacle, not subtlety.
Her mentor, Master Stratus, worked with the quiet patience of a drifting cloud. He would spend a whole morning coaxing a gentle, all-day drizzle into existence from threads of soft gray mist. "Balance, Nim," he would say, his voice a low rumble. The sky needs the quiet rain as much as the brilliant sun. Power without control is just chaos. Nim, however, had her sights set on the annual Sky Sail Festival. She didn't want to weave a gentle breeze. She wanted to create a masterpiece, something that would make everyone gasp. She wanted to weave a thunderhead. One afternoon, after fumbling a delicate cloud lace pattern, frustration boiled over inside her. It was hot and sharp. Ignoring Master Stratus's warnings, she stormed to her loom. She gathered the darkest, heaviest threads of storm mist and the most volatile threads of crackling wind. Then she did the forbidden. She took the hot, impatient anger coiling in her own chest and spun it into a shimmering, furious red thread. As she wove it into the thunderhead, the loom began to shake violently. The air grew cold and smelled of ozone. The cloud she was creating was no longer a simple weaving. It was alive. It swelled into a monstrous, churning mass of dark gray, with two flashing bolts of lightning for eyes. With a deafening roar of thunder that shook the workshop to its foundations, the storm tore itself from the loom. It was a gloom, a living tantrum of a storm, and it was free. The gloom crashed through the workshop wall and plunged towards the island of Market Rest below. As its shadow fell, a strange madness took hold. A baker and a sky sailor began shouting about a misplaced cargo net. Friends turned away from each other over imagined slights. The gloom fed on this rising tide of anger and fear, growing larger, darker, and more powerful with every argument. Nim stared in horror, the red-hot anger in her chest replaced by an icy dread. Master Stratus placed a heavy hand on her shoulder. His face wasn't angry, but filled with a deep sorrow. "You have woven a feeling, child. You cannot fight a feeling. You can only understand it. You must unweave it." He pointed to her sky sail, a sleek craft of polished wood and woven wind. "Find the threads of your own making and gently pull them free." Filled with a terrible resolve, Nim grabbed her satchel of weaving tools. She called out, and Zephyr, a mischievous air elemental that looked like a kite made of living wind, zipped to her side. Together, they leaped from the island's edge and into the open sky. They chased the gloom as it rampaged from island to island, leaving a trail of discord in its wake. It was now a colossal beast, a swirling vortex of black cloud and furious lightning that threatened the central spire, the most populous island of all. Nim's first instinct was to fight. She wove a net of pure sunlight and tried to cast it over the storm, but the gloom simply devoured the light, its thunderous roar turning into a mocking laugh. It grew even larger. "It's not working, Zephyr!" she cried over the howl of the wind. Zephyr nudged her gently, guiding their skysail into a quiet air current just outside the storm's fury. From here, Nim could see the red thread of her own anger pulsing violently at the storm's heart. She saw the threads of fear it had absorbed from the islanders, a sickly, panicked yellow. She finally understood. The storm wasn't just a monster. It was her own anger, her own impatience, magnified and reflected back at her. "Okay," she whispered, her voice calm for the first time. "I understand." She urged Zephyr forward, not with a battle cry, but with a quiet sense of purpose. They flew into the storm's raging edge. The wind whipped at her and rain stung her face, but she held her course.
"I hear you," she called out to the storm. "I know you're angry. I was angry too. I was frustrated and I wanted everyone to see how powerful I was. I'm sorry." The gloom's thunderous roar lessened, just for a moment, to a confused rumble. Reaching into her satchel, Nim pulled out not a weapon, but a weaver's hook made of smooth, calming moonwood. She reached into the fabric of the storm and gently caught the furious red thread. She didn't yank it. With all the patience she could muster, she began to gently unweave it, coiling it around her arm.
As the red thread came free, the storm shuddered. Its lightning flashes softened. Nim then began to weave in a new thread, one of silvery blue regret. "I'm sorry for the fear I caused," she whispered as she worked. She found the sickly yellow threads of the islanders' fear and began to unweave them too, replacing them with a gentle golden thread of courage. With every thread she unwove and every thread she replaced, the gloom shrank. Its violent roar subsided to a low rumble, then a gentle hum. The rain softened from a stinging torrent to a light shower. Finally, the flashing lightning in its eyes faded, leaving only a soft gray cloud, no bigger than her skysail. It was crying a gentle, cleansing rain. Nim guided the little rain cloud back to her workshop and gently reattached it to her loom. When she looked down, the sun was breaking through over the archipelago. Laughter and cheerful shouts once again drifted up from the islands below. The Skysail Festival was held the next day. Nim stood at her loom, Master Stratus at her side. She didn't weave a thunderhead or a flashy sunburst. Instead, with a calm, steady hand, she wove the most beautiful, perfectly formed rainbow anyone had ever seen. A shimmering arc of color and light that connected two islands in a promise of peace. The crowd gasped in delight. It was the most spectacular thing she had ever created. She had learned that the most beautiful weather, like the calmest heart, was not about power, but about perfect, gentle balance.